All right, good morning. You guys hear me in YouTube land? Anybody out there? Thank you, Gabriel. All right, I'll be back in a minute after these disclaimers.
Risk disclosure statement. There is a risk of loss in trading stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, derivatives, options, forex, and cryptocurrencies. This risk can be substantial, and therefore investors should carefully consider their financial suitability prior to trading. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. The software, strategies, chat rooms, websites, and any associated websites or digital venues are for educational purposes only and should not be considered as an express or implied promise or guarantee that you will profit or net losses may be limited in any manner whatsoever. Users of the information accept full responsibility for the outcomes of their deployment in both Stops and Trader, LLC, and any associated companies, agents, management, owners, and customers harmless without reservation. Please trade responsibly. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, Rule 4.41, hypothetical and simulated trading performance results have certain inherent limitations, some of which are described herein. No representation is being made with any account selected to achieve profits or losses similar to the trading. In fact, there are frequently sharp differences between hypothetical or simulated performance results and the actual results subsequently achieved by any particular trading program. One of the limitations of hypothetical performance results is that they are generally prepared with the benefit of hindsight. In addition, hypothetical trading does not involve financial risk, and no hypothetical trading record can completely account for the impact of financial risk in actual trading. For example, the ability to withstand losses or adhere to a particular trading program in spite of trading losses on material points which can also adversely affect actual trading results. Because these trades have not actually been executed, the hypothetical results damage or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. There are numerous other factors related to the markets in general or to the implementation of any specific trading program which cannot be fully accounted for in simulated trading or in the preparation of hypothetical performance results at all, of which can adversely affect actual trading results.
This trade room and its webinars are not intended to mirror my trades or to give specific trade recommendations. Analysis as I share trades and potential trades and I take for myself based on my personal analysis. The goal of this room is to teach trades and identify specific areas of trades and mention themselves so often that decisions are trading extremely risky and insight on my personal trades, use of my own risk, and potentially lose your entire account and even more. I'm not always profitable and have routine drawdowns on my trading accounts. The spreadsheet that I access to is my personal spreadsheet that I use to enter zone values and zero values and I'm able to exact prices for my trades. You can see when I add zone prices to the master spreadsheet as well as prices to enter trades whether you want to go long or short. You have the ability to copy the spreadsheet and enter your own values and use mine to confirm zone prices until you're able to draw the zones correctly yourself. The spreadsheet is not telling you which direction trade is, it has extra prices and stop prices for both long and short positions depending on which one you personally decide to trade.
Alright guys, there's lots of stuff firing off here. My head is spinning. Trying to keep track of all this. I just got out, I was short NASDAQ. I just took a quick winner into this blue lug here. We'll go over the trade, but potentially a new setup. I just need to decide whether I'm going to take this trade into the magical Ludwig level. It's so powerful. I traded off of this. There's tons and tons of buys keep coming in here. This zone was ridiculously huge. I adjusted it. You can see all this. All right, so I'm going to wait and see what happens here. I'm not going to take it off of this event. We're at the lug here. We're at a bottom of a market profile composite, and buy ice keeps coming in too. So, not that buy ice can't be wrong, but I'm going to wait for this to bust through here and take new lows. This is a pretty important area for NASDAQ as well. On the structure stuff. So you had balance, you had this ridiculous move up during the ringleader circus act Powell talking yesterday, and then it gave it all back. And now here we are at this right at the high volume node of this most recent balance. So this breaks, this thing is probably going to get smoked. It's probably coming down to this structure. There's nothing here below here as far as structure till down here, and it's right around say 17,200, so that's a good 250 points away. So really, really important area right here in NASDAQ. So you can see it's the high volume node of that balance. We're at the blue lug. We're at a market profile composite. So this is basically going to tell you what is going to go down here thesis-wise. So I come up with an idea with the thesis, and then I'm waiting for my volume events to confirm those ideas in important areas. So there's nothing here to go long off of per se, so I have distinct rules for these volume events that come in, and this is the Zone Drawer Pro that you guys have access to now. You get access to this through the Bookmap Marketplace. So you can just actually let me post this. So we'll go over all this. So this is the first thing on here, the drawing tool, where you don't have to do it by hand anymore. It's a godsend. A developer of my trade room, Yoan, has only channel subscribers 1 minute or longer can. I don't know if this is going to let me send. Hold on, it's not letting me send. Hey Dan, if you're on here, how do I? It's not letting me send anything to this YouTube. subscribers only mode. So I'm trying to do this and it's not letting me post this. You're on here, Dan. Let me know. So I can't post that right now. Is there a sheet for the ATR reversion trades? The ATR reversion trades, that's this part of the spreadsheet. That is part of my trade room, or you can get it. So if you part of my trade room, you get all this stuff. As far as the inflection zones, the IZZY zones, we call them, and the spreadsheet. If you can't get in the trade room, then you can get this stuff on this website, ScottPulciniTrader.org. Here's a spreadsheet if you want that monthly, or the inflection zones, or combined. So go to that website if you want them. If not, you get them as part of my trade room. All right, I guess I should have taken that short. So it was an important area. I'm fine with missing it. That sucks because this is the absolute exact pattern. I could have taken barks and licks and everything else here, but now my Bookmap's freezing because I got so many things going on. We'll wait for this to unfreeze, and then we got stop run here. And if you don't take a certain event, then there's another event right around the corner. We got stop runs here. I'm sure we're going to be getting new Ludwig levels that'll open the door for my shorts. That's what I was afraid to trade into. So let's see if we got them yet. There you go. So new lugs. I'm not worried about shorting now. If this turns into a bullish setup on the bull side, so I'm a day trader. I think this market's going to get absolutely destroyed now based on what I just showed you. But this is a prior market profile composite. The market has traded up and through it, but I still think it's relevant because you can always, if the stuff's not relevant, you cut it off. Once the market trades up and through it, but you can tell if the market keeps respecting it. You can see this did respect it the other day, so that's still a relevant one, and then this is a relevant one here. So if this were to bounce here, I could take a pick long. Again, I feel like something's going to happen. I feel like these markets are going to get killed, but I'm a day trader and I have specific strategies. And this is actually an IZZY trade as well, IZZY long, if it can hold right here. So I will take longs off of this event, even though I think that market's going to get killed, right? Because that's what you do when you have trading strategies and you just follow your rules. So if this event turns out to be a bullish event, I could put on an IZZY long and I can put on a pick long, profiles encourage, right? So if this turns out to be bearish, then I can put on shorts, different strategies. So this is about to rip up here, my entry. So this should be right on this ATR. I'm going to trade right off the charter. 38.50 is my entry, and it shows you my position sizing. I can put on 3 micros. We'll talk about all this here in a second. Let me get these trades set up. 94. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just put this on here too, just so you guys can kind of watch it. Use the Bookmap. This is just sim mode, but at least you can watch the trade. So I'll just trade regular size here. I'm trading micros on these Apex accounts, which we'll talk about. I should already be in this trade, by the way. I'll put that in right there. I can't see the orders working is the problem. It shows it right there. I need a whole other column for that. So I didn't get filled. I just put it right now. So if it comes back, I'll get filled. I'm not. So I always get the question, well, if you would have been filled up there, why don't you get in right here? Because I feel like if this market does that, I got away with something, not getting the fill on. That's all. But yeah, I should already be long here. So if that comes back, I'm taking for my strategies. Again, on the Bookmap, I can only put on one. It's just one entity or one thing to trade through. With the Apex accounts, I have different accounts for each strategy. So I'm going to put those in as well here. So if that comes back to 39.25, I'm entering pick and IZZY. Those are working. Some other strategies that usually are in play, I could take, and we just saw this happen up here, which I missed. I didn't miss. I decided not to take it, but I could have taken a bark blind ATR retest confirm. That's just when the market moves. So the blue line is the ATR line. The yellow line is the entry, right? So I could have taken barks and licks this way. I'd like it not to. All right, so now I'm filled on that. So everything is on here that you need to do. So this is the spreadsheet put on the heat map, right? And this is the newest version. I'm the only one on it right now with the zone drawing tool. Johan's got this ATR pretty spot on. Let's just check. Yeah, so you can see it's 32.67 Thinkorswim, and this one's showing over here 32.69. So spot on. So nice job, Yuan, as usual. So I know. So based on this, so this is showing me 0.3 of what is it showing me? Oh yeah, so if you're trading micros, you can. This is saying I could put on 0.3 of a actual NQ contract. So this is actually huge size for what I'm trying to do here. I just want to put on a trade with the actual size. So for my risk parameters, and this is you plug this all in the zone drawing tool. I'm risking $500 on the trade. So if this ends up being a loser, I would lose $5,000 on this sim mode, right? Because I have 3 big ones on. On the Apex accounts, I have 3 micros on. So I'm risking $500. So point is, now so that was my entry, that yellow line. My stop is this, where it says short aggressive is the same as my stop price, right? So if I were to plug this all in my spreadsheet, these are the exact values I would get. I don't have to do that if the ATR is correct. I could trade right off the chart. So 47.50 is my stop if that comes back. And again, I think these markets are going to get killed, but these, this volume event, if it's going to get killed right now, you shouldn't be seeing bullish volume events, right? So I put on the trade. If it turns around and it's a loser, on to the next trade. That's what trading a system or an edge is. You're trading probabilities. You don't know which trades are going to work, which ones aren't, so you put them on according to your system. So again, that's just a quick recap. I put on Izzy. I got a volume event right here in this zone. Sorry, wrong color. Took that long, and then I took a pick long too. So if this ends up getting smoked. So another thing too I want to watch here are these prior events. So this is ripping my way. I'm going to definitely watch this last event. Very likely, because I already reacted to it once. If this gets up here and it starts to struggle, I'm getting out of probably. I'll get out of 2 of these. I usually would just get out of one at one, depending on the area. But just because I'm bearish too. So if this gets up here, I'm getting out of 2 of the 3. If it starts to struggle, if it rips right through here, then I'll try to let this run. But here's the other thing too. This was all this buy ice this morning. I tried to combine all these, but this was basically the zone. Right, and this was, I don't even know how much this was. It had to be at least a couple thousand. Yeah, 500,000 basically, 1,300, 1,600, 1,900. I mean, this is crazy, right? So this is almost 4,000 buy ice in this area that just got smoked, right? So again, this is a great example of paper not always being right, the big money not being right. And I don't care what they're doing there. That's what the question. Oh, I just missed this exit here. Hold on, damn it. Get up there? No, it hasn't gotten up there yet. So I'm just going to put one. I'm going to put these in here. I'm going to put at least one offer in here if it comes up here, so I don't miss the exit. Because again, I am bearish, right? But my trading strategy said to put the long on and put the long on. Anyway, you don't know what this entity is doing. You're never going to know. So stop trying to figure it out. Just know that this is an area where there are trap traders one way or another. You got to just assume they're entering positions. Even if they were whatever they were doing, they could have bought at a better price, right? So they're definitely wrong. But this is the area that 4,000 buys came. So what if you're a big trader here and you're a longer term and you can hold things and you held through this whole painful episode that just happened to you? If you're long, what are you doing when it comes back up here? You're like, oh God, thank God, get out. I'm getting out. So this is all I used to do. Again, all my strategies, everything that I do is based on the order flow, based on my experience as a large trader at one time, right? And I know how I used to react when I would hold my breath, and I would never hold this for this long, and I wasn't even really trading Nasdaq, I was trading ES. But the point is, if I'd feel this pain, I'd be praying for it to come back, and then I would get out when it came back, and I'm like, oh, thank God, okay, I'll scratch that trade. I was wrong on it. You see what I'm saying? So that's how these markets react. You can see it even happen right here, right? So this buy ice was smoked, came back, they're like, let me out, and then it did that. So anyway, I'm watching this zone and then definitely that zone. I'm not going to mess around if it comes back there and starts to fail. So, all right, let's see what else is going on. I mean, there's been so many things. I got crushed in beans and wheat a little bit ago. I made a mistake because there was so much stuff firing off, and I jumped over here, and this was a perfect example at the time of not. I sold right into the blue Ludwig level in wheat. That was not fun right here, and I just got stopped out to the tick. So I took losses in there, and I took some losses in beans. This is actually interesting here. Let's see what's going on. All right, still got some lugs there, so. Let's see what else is firing off in here. So I could take an I lug you in beans. I might do that. We'll go over these strategies. I should be long crude. I had some orders working in here. We'll go over that and see. I was going to go long this stop run. I just want to make sure this didn't violate this. If this violated, then I shouldn't be long. I don't think it did. All right, so I actually could be long off this guy, better price. So let's just in crude. I think this was just sitting in an Izzy zone. Yeah, so I had an Izzy working off of that first stop run event in this zone, right? So this is an inflection zone. The market's been sitting in this zone for a day. Right, so I don't take those Izzies aggressively. I wait for that, and that's what I think happened there. Let me see if I aim along here. Hold on a second.
10 minutes time at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, we get EIA natural gas
No.
change. Forecast build of 59 BCF.
So I never got filled on that yet. So I might want to adjust this. Hold on a second here. So this was my entry for that, right? So I was playing for this. This is the pattern over and over. Once again, here's your 1 ATR reversion trade. I'm not taking these on the webinars, but if that came back, I was going to go long. Well, we got a new event down here. The issue is, did this disqualify to the short side? Then I can't still put that long on. But this is a new event. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to delete that Izzy. If this does, actually I'll keep that Izzy going. But if it comes back here, then I'll put on the Izzy at this price versus this price, because this is the newest event. We're always defaulting to the most recent event. You got buy ice here too. This is kind of a delayed double whammy too. So you had sell stops, the dumb money puke, retail trader puke, and then you had the big money absorbing down here. So I had it Izzy working there. I'll put that on, but if it does that, then I'll put the Izzy on here. So this is a little below that zone. You got to remember, these zones are areas. They're not exact prices, right? So you can see the great thing about the zone drawing tool. It's great, but it could drive you crazy because I'm watching so many markets. It's letting me know when the zone's drawn, when it validates, according to my rules, and when you should be getting in and getting out. It's incredible. So anyway, that's what's firing off there. I'm not going to trade soy oil right now. So anyway, this is actually through this zone, and this is obviously we've been talking about this in my room. We caught this move, and this is not bullish, right? And it just broke below there. So I'm going to actually cancel these longs off of this first event, or off the Izzy event there, because it got below there, right? So I'm not going to take that Izzy. I'm going to cancel that order, and then I'm going to see if whatever else I had working here is still in play. I think this was a slug, right? Hold on. I think I had a slug working here too. If we have new lugs, and that's off the table too. So that's still alive. So I can take. There were stop runs here earlier. This is one of the best trades out there, right? Because these things are so powerful in their own right. Then when you get a volume event, add them that are even more powerful. And this is how I trade, right? I don't trade lugs on their own, even though I know how powerful they are. I wait for something real time, aka a volume event, to take the trade. So there was a stop run. This was close enough for me. I was going to take that slug off that stop run I just showed you. Now you got buy ice here too, so I could put an I lug U on as well. So these are trading strategies, right? So slugs are aggressive entries, meaning the first move out of the volume event. So it comes down. This is what I had working. It's still working. All right, it comes down. You get the stop run into that lug. And then I was going to take it aggressively. I lug U is when actually I could take this one aggressively too. I take that back. So I'm going to get in right here. We'll just do it on the chart. I could put on. I don't want to put on 8 on this, I don't think, but let's see here. We'll just put on like a 4. Again, this is sim, guys. I'm just showing you. So I just missed this entry. I'll go over here in a second. So I lug U's are usually, so I don't usually chase up, but I just chased up. So I put on an ILUG-U. I still have a slug working off of this event too. Right? So I'll go over ILUG-U here in a second. Anyway, I got long off of that. That's buy ice at the lug. I can get in aggressively. So what did I just do there? Oh, I just filled. Okay, I filled on one. There's just stuff firing off everywhere. My head is spinning right now. So I got out of one of those NASDAQ that I was just long. So if this starts to fail at all here, I'm getting out of another one. Again, I am bearish this market, but you saw that this trade felt terrible down here. I thought this I still think it's going to get killed. It's just not happening right now. And like I said, if I have opinions on the market, but I let the volume events tell me what to do. Right? If this was so bearish, this thing should have never validated to the upside. So my strategies hit. I took my longs. They felt terrible. There you go. Now, hopefully, if we can get up to this zone, I'm going to be watching the bottom of that whopper buy ice down here. So I'm going to try to keep an eye on this. If this actually comes back, I'm going to get out of another one here, basically where I got out of the first one. And I'll still have one on. So let's put this in here. All right, so if that comes back, I am out of another one. Otherwise, I'm watching this. I'm just going to put this offer in up here if this comes back to the zone, because it's going to have a real hard time getting through 4,000 buys that just got crushed. So that is working. I put on this crude trade. This is an ILUG-U, and I'm going to stop out down here. You see that this is all on the chart for you. As long as, for the zone drawing tool, as long as natural gas numbers coming out here in 5 minutes. Just as long as the ATR is correct, you got to make sure the ATR. So this is showing, you can see it here, and I put it in the gears too. I didn't even know I can do that. Yohan told me yesterday I can do that. 23.8, Thinkorswim ATR 23.7, spot on, very nice. So again, if this is working correctly, the ATR, and once you get if you get the basic zone drawing tool on the marketplace, you get access to the Pro right away, and now there's a letter in there, and you can get the access to the Pro that it has all this stuff. Right? Before there was an issue, this is why it's in beta. He keeps improving it. Now this is spot on. So you don't really need the spreadsheet per se if you can trade right off of the chart, right? So here, I'll just give you guys a quick example here, right? So that last zone was 78.66 to 78.62, right? So you put the top of the zone in, and you put the bottom of the zone in. Then you put the ATR in. What do we say, 0.237? That's just telling me it's rotating about 24 ticks every 5 minutes. Very important. So my entry price would be 93. You can see here, there's your entry price, 93. So this is the spreadsheet on here. It's just such an easier way to obviously trade. All right, so anyway, there's a couple of these strategies have different methods of entering. It's aggressive versus waiting for a retest of the zone. So an ILUG-U is aggressive or a retest fail confirm. Take any fade trade with an iceberg event into a major lug. So we saw the iceberg event there. If the iceberg corresponds with the lug, sell ice at the red lug, buy ice at the blue lug. Again, I'm referring to Ludwig levels. It's just short for Ludwig levels. So I have to say Ludwig level 88 times on a webinar. So there was buy ice there. So I took it aggressively first move out, right? If it was sell ice, I would still potentially take an ILUG-U, but I would need to see this, right? So anyway, I'm long that. I still have a slug working from this guy. I'll just leave that where it's at, and I'll enter that if that moves up there too. So a slug is just a stop run into the lug. And then the other thing, what else was here? I can't remember what I said. Of course, I lost the chart as usual. Here it is. Oh, I was going to take an Izzy, but this was below that Izzy. This is too far below this inflection zone, so I'm not taking that. What you do want to pay attention to here is this may be a failed breakdown of this balance, right? These are some of the best trades out there. So if this moves a little higher and I start getting events, I have a strategy for this. This is called the FBB, fail balance breakdown. If I get events, I'm going to take those longs aggressively, and this thing could be heading back up to this guy. So we will see if that happens. So again, I have multiple strategies, aka areas that I deem important, and then I wait for volume events in those areas. It's as simple as that, right? So trading's not easy, but I make it as simple as possible. So these are my areas. You may have your own areas. I'm sure a lot of you do. I don't care what you're looking at. If you think it's important, it's not for me to tell you if an area is important or not. What I'm saying is you want to make sure that you get a volume event in those areas. because that's something that is happening real time, right? All right, so we got some, let's see what's going on. Soybeans always they smoked me earlier, so let me see what's going on here. I think this might be a slug in soybeans. And guys, I know a lot of you rolling your eyes. He's trading grains. I don't trade beans. I don't want to see this. You do, because it's the same stuff. It doesn't matter what market you're trading. If you know the thresholds of your market, meaning the size of the event, if it's important for that market, and you don't even need to know the thresholds now because they're automatically drawn with the drawing tool, then you take the trade. So I need to be short right here of slug first and foremost. So what this is telling me, I could put on 2.1 on a position trade. These are the reversion trades, but I can put on 2.1. Let's get that going. What wrong thing? I'm just going to put on 2 here. And the great thing about this, actually, I'll put on 3. I'll round up. Hold on, beans. Let me just. All right, so I'm short beans. The great thing about this now is a new event just came in, right? So, all right, hold on. Something's happened in incubator. I never got filled on that. I just missed my fill there. All right, I think this is a new event though. Yeah, it's developing more buy ice. So somebody's buying the crap out of this, Again, guys, this could be mark this area going forward. These are obviously longer term traders, right? So what I'll do at the end of the day here, I don't do it very often, but when we see this kind of size, I do. I'm going to mark this area knowing there is about 5,000 and counting buy ice in this area. You can bet when this market moves away, either way, when it comes back and retests, you're going to get a reaction. So mark this area on your charts for the next few days or weeks or whatever. All right, so now with my longs, this is how I trail my stops. I don't trail my stop where I say, I want to keep this profit. Okay, I'm going to trail my stop to make sure I just break even on the trade if it comes back. Well, what do you think these algos that love to take your money, you don't think they know that retail traders do that? I trail my stop to something that's happening in the market. And here's my stop now, right? So my stop was way down here. It's not showing. Oh, I actually didn't even put it in, but now I'm going to put my stop right here. 456. So if it comes back, I'm out. It's a little bit below there, but it's good enough. Right there. All right, those are. So that's where I'll stop out. What am I doing? I'm just trailing my stop to something new. And there's potentially new setups. I can maybe go long here, or there's probably a short here. So let's see if this event fails. I don't know what this event's going to be, whether it's going to be bullish or bearish. We have rules, and that's on the spreadsheet. So what are the rules? If it can get an ATR above this zone, that's a bullish event. I'm looking for longs. If it can get an ATR below the zone, that's a bearish event. I'm looking for shorts. Natural gas is coming out. So it's as simple as that, right? And it's from, you may be saying, well, how do you know that? Well, because I've watched about 50 million of these things in the last 7 years, right? And I've determined what it is if it can get an ATR out of the event. So let's see what shorts we have. Because remember, I want to be short. I don't love the short so much anymore because this thing did this, got through the high volume node. This thing should have died. It did not die. And now you're seeing a whopper buying tail. All right, what did I just fill on? Oh, I filled on my other one. Actually, I didn't even need to get out a 1 there because now we got this. I can trail my stop. But anyway, okay, so I'm out of 2 of the 3. So I'm going to trail. I got to cancel one of these stops here. Hold on. See, the problem is I can't. All right, so we'll just do this real quick. I can't. No, let's just do this. Cancel all. I'll put this back in here. I just don't want to bring up all the columns right now. All right, so that's working if that comes back there. That's close enough. All right, so if that comes back, I'm stopped out. You can see this did react right at the zone. Not a surprise, right? So that's where I got out of another one there. Anyway, now I'm trailing that. So let's see what we have brewing here for strategies. First of all, for barks and licks, those are the most aggressive strategies that happen a lot. So you can see Algo Guy just pulled. So this is my filter for some of my trades. Or for barks and licks. So when the blue is the short-term exponential moving average, crosses the red, then it is back to a bullish state. This is very fleeting a lot of times, right? Sometimes it just stays and it's just a huge trend and it keeps bouncing off the red or the blue. Other times it'll cross. That's the days you know it's just very choppy. But you want to pay attention to when this crosses. So now I have strategies that I can take, barks and blind ATR retest confirm of the event, and licks, which is basically a blind ATR retest confirm as well, but I'm going for the liquidity as my target. Point is, I can take those trades now that this turned bullish, right? So now if this confirms bullish, I will take barks and licks. What's the confirm? Right there. The ATR. This is able to push an ATR out of the zone. I will take longs. Then my shorts are disqualified as well, right? So if this does this, I'm going to put on barks and licks. The only issue here is I hate entering in prior events for the reasons we just talked about, because these are trap traders, and it's not, even if I get long here, this is not going to be an easy trade. You're smack dab in the middle of that. Whoever got long in here is like, oh, thank God, let me out. You're going to get a lot of that, right? It'll potentially can make it through this, but I just know if I do go long, I'm in for an algo fest or a fight. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. This is not a bullish event yet. So what could I do on the short side? Short side, let's see if we have an Izzy zone here. It's outside this Izzy zone, so no Izzy trade for me there for that strategy. Let's look at our lugs. Got our market profile composite. Did I fill on soybeans? Hold on. I think I filled on that. Yeah, so I'm short soybeans. So what I was trying to say is I got short off of this event. I'll come back to NASDAQ in a second. Right? I got short off of that. My stop was way up here. Well, with this new event, my stop should be right here, but I'm not stopping in this prior event, so I'm going to move it up right here, 91.25. But I technically should be stopped out right now, right? And this is a bullish event. It's happening, but I'm just going to put this in here. All right, so that's working. If this comes up here, so I potentially save myself a couple points in risk, right? A couple cents. So if my stop was up there because there's a new event, we're always defaulted in the most recent event. I'm putting my stop. I should have been stopped right there. I'm just going to move it outside there, right? And this is a bullish event. I could potentially take strategies off of this, right? There you go. Algo guy's bullish. I can take barks and licks off that. The question is, do I want to buy into the red lug? Right? I've already got smoke today selling into the red lug and wheat. So I'm actually not going to take trades off of that barks and licks until if this busts through here, it stops me out of my short, and I start getting volume events, then I'll take longs. Other than that, I'm just going to let this, comes up, stops me out, then it stops me out. Crap. I was short gold too. So I got out of some down here. I didn't hear this new event. Did I have? So we put this in earlier in the morning. I caught this move down here, and you can see this is one of the areas I get out. This was struggling at this resting liquidity a couple times. So I got short aggressively, and then it did that, and I put on barks and licks, and it couldn't get through here. I got out of a few, but now it looks like I'm going to stop out. So those stops are already in there. So if that comes back, but we got a new event here in gold too, so I'll try to head over here too. Currently, I am long crude, and I'm long, and I still have one on in NASDAQ. So let's go back to NASDAQ because we were looking at potential shorts here. Actually, I wanted to see this. All right, so I'm not seeing anything here for me to get short NASDAQ. Some of you guys like trading off VWAP. Again, if that's your important area, you get your value event, take the trade. I don't trade off of VWAP as far as entries. I'll get out of VWAP sometimes if it's confluent with something else, but I don't have a trade for VWAP, aka strategy for VWAP. You may, great. Well, then here's your chance to trade this event, right? You got buy ice basically at VWAP. So this is a perfect example. If you like trading at VWAP, here's your volume event, something real time. If this fails, you can take a short off the VWAP. Other than that, I just got one on, and this will stop me out if this comes back. For me, there's no shorts off of this event because algo guy's bullish, so I can't take barks and licks this way, right? Because that's my filter. And there's nothing else here for me to take a short off as far as my important areas. So the only thing I can really do here is take a long, and that needs to happen. ATR retest confirmed. So we'll hear when that happens, if it happens. Other than that, I got one left. If it comes back and stops me out, then I'm out of the trade. On to the next one. Let's see if you guys got some questions in here. Thank you for putting on Apex. No problem. Might as well just show that real quick. So this is what I'm doing, guys. So each one of these strategies has its own Apex account. So we had a question the other day. You know, some people obviously just have one account. If you're trading with a broker, most people just have one account. And there was like 3 strategies in I think it was NQ. And she's like, well, what should I do here? Should I put on triple size? Well, if you're trading 3 different strategies, then technically, yeah. But you know, if you're trading a single account and then those you put on triple size and you lose on that trade, you basically you should be done for the day, right? So what I recommend, if you're going to trade what I'm doing as far as my strategies, you know, if you want to trade your real money and open with a broker, if you want to trade your own capital, then I would open up multiple accounts. Or, you know, again, guys, this is not, even when you come to my trade room, these trade strategies, it's not come in my trade room and trade every one of these strategies. You could, if you have the bandwidth. These, I have the bandwidth because I've been doing these in my head for years and years and years. Now I've put them on paper for you guys. It's up to you to determine which ones you like, which ones make sense to you, and then you trade those strategies, right? So what I tell traders, especially new ones, pick 1 or 2 right off the bat. You know, these are the 2 probably best ones. You know, we can see right here. So you can see on these Apex accounts, let's see which ones are doing well. Actually, this is, so I have, well, Apex everywhere, right? So I qualified actually for this one today on those gold shorts. This one's qualified, so I'll be getting an email this evening. I made the $9,000 before I lost 5. So that's going to be a live account tomorrow. That was just on my own that I have other things that I'm doing, just testing strategies and stuff like that. But as far as these, let's see, what am I doing here? So these are the ones that I have active right now. You can see all these on here, right? So these are all the numbers of the strategies. I can't hear what this guy's saying. Yeah, that's just natural guess. Right, so you can see, like, this one's these are a little underwater. These are the newer ones too. But you can see a lot of these are, so you got to remember, you look at this and you're like, oh, big deal. He's up 5 grand, 5 grand, 6 grand, 4 grand. This is, relatively, it's a big deal because you can only lose 5 grand. You got to make 9 before you lose 5. Well, technically, if these are just $5,000 accounts, it says $150,000. We'll go over the website here in a second. It says 150. It's not really 150 because all you can lose is 5, right? So if I'm risking $5,000, that means this is 100% return. That's 100% return. That's like 110% return, 100% return, 100% return, 30% return. You see what I'm saying? So this is actually really, really good results for these strategies. I tell you guys all the time, each one of these things will be funded eventually. I have to build them up gradually, right? And I'm still being very aggressive with my trades. I'm risking $500 on a trade. That's 10% of the actual risk level. That is a lot. You don't want to be risking 10%. If you have an account you're trading with your own funds that you're like living on, you should be doing that anyway. But the point is, don't be risking 10% of your trades. But even at 10%, it takes a while to build these things up, right? So these are all, you know, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these strategies are, 50% or halfway, more than halfway to the funding. So what I keep saying is these will all be eventually funded. Why? Because it doesn't matter what the strategy is. I know the volume events in their own right are inherently the edge, right? When I apply these volume events to important areas, I have even better of an edge. So I know every one of these will be an official or a live account eventually. Why do I do that? Well, because first of all, I used to trade just like this. You guys watched any of my, for the last 2 years or a year and a half, my webinars would be something like this, where I would have all those trading strategies in my head, and I would be like, okay, I'm going to take this, I'm going to take that, I'm going to take this. And people's head probably were spinning because they're like, okay, what is he doing? What strategy? So I've broken those out, but the main thing is, I used to trade all this on my own account with my real money, right? And anybody who's watched my webinars, I'm about to get stopped out of this last one, by the way, and this is a bearish event, but I cannot do anything off of that. You see how many mistakes I make, right? So this is, for example, like say I'm watching ES or something and I forget to put the stop in, then I bring it back and the thing would be down 200 points and I lost like 4 grand. I can't tell you how many thousands of dollars I lost trading my own accounts because I'm doing these webinars and I'm educating and so on and so forth. So I said, you know what I'll do here, this is like killing two birds with one stone type of thing. I'm not risking my own money. So if I make a mistake, and I make mistakes on these all the time, so these aren't even really reflective of missed trades and mistakes and so on and so forth, but they're pretty close. So the point is, if I get smoked on a mistake, I'm just losing it. And even when these go live, yeah, it's going to be real money, but it's not going to be like devastating to my life if I make a mistake, right? It's like, okay, yeah, I blew out the account. I got to get another one funded. So that's why I do it, for that reason, so I don't blow my own money making mistakes. Two, it helps me keep these strategies in line, right? So those are all the strategies. That's everything you see on this sheet. So that's all I'm doing. So anyway, for you guys, highly recommended. I know these things are a dime a dozen now, right? ApexTraderFunding.com. So this is the code you can use to get any discount. They just came out right now. They got there it is. Use Pulcini 50. It's 80% off right now, and they have right now where you can qualify for the thing in a day. So if you literally, if you do the 80% off, I think the 150,000 is $60, right? $59. So when you put a trade on, you're risking $59. Like if you lose $59, you're just like, you don't even pay attention to that, right? So, if you really want to, if you love a trade, open up an account, put on full size, right, where you're risking $5,000 and see if you can make $9,000. If you make $9,000, you're qualified for the account in one day. So it's pretty awesome as far as I'm concerned, right? But the point is, this is the one I put my name behind. They've done everything they say they're going to do for over 2 years now, as far as I've been funded on multiple live accounts, been paid out by them, and you can, they have up here, they've paid out millions of dollars. Let's see. Average, so that's average $9 million a month. Oh yeah, so $158 million they paid to traders. So this is the one that I put my name behind. I've never had any problems with them. And guys, if you're learning, so say you come in my room and you're like, okay, I'm ready to go. Do not be trading your own account until you know what the hell you're doing. So you can open one of these. You have skin in the game, so I don't want to hear, well, it's a sim account, so I don't do the same thing. You still, if you get in here and you put the money down and you lose, it's not going to feel good. So at least you'll probably respect your rules a little bit. But the point is, if you lose, you're not losing your own money. And if you do well, now you're funded. So that's the Apex. Highly recommended. You can use the other ones too. This is the one that I deem is the best. So it's up to you to. That's why you're on the webinar, to listen to my advice. If you want to pick another one, pick another one. But those are the ones that I put my name behind. All right, what else is in here? What are the red reversion lines? Are you talking? Hold on. Let's look at. So I still got this crude's doing nothing right now. So guys, it's hard for me to show the. Let's see here. Yeah, so you can't see the. I was going to show you the gears. So you can take all these off too. So say you don't want it. There's two types of trading on this, right? You have the position trading, and that's in this spreadsheet. Same thing, right? So for position trades, here's all my strategies, right? They're all right here. There's even more than that, but this part of the spreadsheet is for position trading. This part of the spreadsheet is for the reversion trade. What's the reversion trade? And I do not take these on webinars because it's just too labor intensive. I can't keep up with the position trades, let alone the reversion trades. What's the reversion trades? It is just, again, you're taking my experience of watching 4.2 million of these things, or 50 million, or whatever I said earlier. It's been a lot, right? So we actually built this trade in the trade room right now. That's going to lead me right into this segue. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this document. I only show it every single day. You should, if you can read this right off of here, but you can get it when you come to my trade room. This is straight out of Trading in the Zone. I mean, I've added my own stuff in here, but one of the things, if you go in Trading in the Zone, it's towards the end of the book. He has an exercise. He's like, to prove to yourself, if you trade like a casino, you find an edge and you have distinct rules, and that's what we do, you can basically turn anything into a trading strategy that makes money if you have an edge. So that's the great thing about what we're doing. You don't have to question if the volume events are an edge. They are an edge, 100%, and you don't have to take my word for it. Get Bookmap, replay the days. You get data. You can have 4 years of data feeds as part of my room. You can go back to any day, replay the days, and find out for yourself. Put the trades on, and you can find out for yourself. Or you can take my word for it. It's the best edge I've ever seen in 25 years of trading, right? So the point is, you have the edge. Most traders struggle because they don't really know if they have an edge. They see something works, for a week, and then they try it, and then they get killed. You have the edge. So if you have an edge, then you do this. So the reversion trade was born off of, with my room, because I kept saying every time we would see a volume event, the propensity for these things to come back, right? And this one looks like it's coming back too, is uncanny. It's ridiculous how often these markets will hit the 1 ATR and come back. It'll hit the 2 ATR and come back. It'll hit the 3 ATR, come back. Sometimes it hits 4, 5, 6, but it comes back to the zone at, I've said for years, and we're actually developing this with a trading firm right now. It's almost done. We'll have the exact stats, but I say it's 70% or more of the time it comes back to the zone. The question is, how many ATRs before it comes back to the zone, right? I can't tell you that. Some days it's 1, some days the 2s are great, some days the 1s and 2s get blasted, the 3 works, right? So we have different methods of trading these. You can just take an aggressive one. Every time you see a 1, you take a trade. So the point is, you want to, whatever you're going to pick, you say, I want to take the 1, you got to take it every time if you want to let the odds play out for you, right? You don't say, here's the 1 ATR, okay, I'm going to take that one. All right, I might have just stopped out of soybeans. You don't say one time, I'm going to take it, another time, this scares me, I don't want to take it. You got to take them all. So the point is, you take the 1 every time. The one I like the best when I am trading these, I like the 2. You take the 2 and then you take the backdoor 1 and then you get out the zone, because if it comes back to the 1, the propensity for this to get back here is ridiculous. So anyway, the dotted lines are the entries for the 1, the 2, the 3. You get part of this as the zone drawing tool beta. Then you get it, even if you buy the basic, you're going to get this right now as the beta. And then the red are the stops for the reversion trades, right? So if I put on the 1 reversion trade, right, this is my stop for the 1. If I put on the 2 reversion trade, this is my stop for the 2. If I put on the 3 reversion trade, that's my stop for the 3, right? That's all it is. You can take all these off the chart too, right? That's what I was trying to show you, but I can't. This opens up when I hit this gear wheel. It opens up on my upper screen, so I can't show you. So if you don't want to trade reversions, take all that off. If you want to take them, there they are. So any questions with that, let me know. I think I just stopped out of, so this was pleasant. This is my life for 25 years. Stopped out of that last one to basically the exact tick and then right back. Anyway, here you go. This right here was the 1 reversion trade, right? 1 ATR, went a little lower, never got to the 2. You never got stopped out of the 1, back to the zone, you're out. That's the yellow line there. That's the trade. It happens over and over and over and over all day long in all these markets. It's ridiculous. So we have a trade for it. It's very active. So that's why I always say, you guys want to scalp so bad. Well, there's ways to scalp off. This is the best scalp that I can see in these markets, and that's all I did. That's how I made my millions at the time, was scalping. I'm not scalping anymore. You may want to think, okay, well, there's probably a reason he's not scalping anymore, because I like to make millions of dollars. Maybe because it's really, really hard and I can't do it anymore. And if I can't do it, you probably can't do it either, because I was one of the best in the world at it, right? So my point is, though, if you want to take scalp type trades, this is one of them. We have volume market pulse as well. Maybe we'll get into that. I'll show some of those. You can scalp off market pulse as well. But anyway, that's the reversion trade. I think I got stopped out of my soybeans. The grains are kicking my ass today. I'm not liking it so much. All right. So the good thing about that, though, is I was able to trail my stop, right? So soybeans gave me the middle finger. On to the next trade. So you guys, if you have an edge, you just keep putting on the trade. Let's see what else you guys are saying here. Is there a setting to turn off the pop-up alerts? I believe so. Let's see. So that's, you can change your thresholds for these markets as well, right? Those are all the thresholds that it draws the thing on. You can turn on the reversion, on and off the reversion trade through here and on the gear wheel. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a way. I'll ask you on. Hold on, let me close out of that. Pretty sure there's a way to turn them off. Trader Boy says, for a new subscriber to your room, what software would you recommend they get when starting out? So guys, that's all in this. And Dan, are you on this webinar? I have not heard you say, it won't let me post this. I want to post this, not this. this. So this goes through all the requirements, or if you want to trade and do what I'm doing, this has everything in it, right? So right here. So this is everything you need. The Bookmap, and this is you get a discount to Bookmap through this. All this stuff, most of the stuff, you get discounts too. This is the stuff I use. But if you click on it, you get a discount to that. You don't get a discount to MBO, but you get a discount to Bookmap Global Plus, which you want because you can see the sweeps and everything else. Apex, there's your code there. Spot Gamma, use this code for 2 weeks. We'll go over Spot Gamma here if we get a chance. Tick Strike, actually, I forgot to turn on Tick Strike. We'll get that going. That helps me judge in certain areas the buying intensity or selling intensity. It's just telling me stuff real time. Market Pulse is Tick Strike on crack, but we'll go over that. I say, or tick strike on steroids, I should say. It's like crack. Trader Sync to keep track of your trades. Again, I don't know why they have this like this. You try it out for free, and then you get my discount. I don't know why they don't have the discount on there. It's very confusing, and they haven't changed it. I don't know why. Lugs, join the 3-day trial. These are the second most powerful thing I've ever seen in trading. I say it every day. Next to the SI events, top iceberg events. Go to her website. Enter in she has a 3-day trial on the right. Show you real quick here, and we can check out our 1982 website, and she says she's fixed, it's getting updated. So anyway, fill that out, say you saw it on the Bookmap webinar. She has special pricing for that, and then you have special pricing for my trade room as well. But you can try it for 3 days. Once you try them, you're never going to go back. And then here's the reviews for my room. One jackass in there that got mad because I didn't kiss his ass because he couldn't figure out how to cancel his, and so he just tried to rip me, and I told him you can't cancel me. He didn't like that, so I think that's my only bad review on there. You can go read that too. Anyway, but I've turned over a new leaf. I'm not letting any of you guys bother me anymore. I saw something that was very important. A well-known guy said, because I asked him, do you get upset when people rip you on Twitter, blah blah blah, and he's like, I don't let strangers affect me emotionally, and that's the truth, right? It's like the only people I let affect me emotionally are people in my life. So unless you're a family member, I'm not going to give a crap what you say. I know what I'm doing works. You can test it out yourself. You can believe me. You cannot believe me. I've been doing this a long time, and I've made millions of dollars. Granted, it was a long time ago, but you still get my knowledge of what I'm doing. So it's up for you to, again, I'm not gonna go back and forth with people, especially when they're jackasses. So I'm turning over a new leaf there. I used to let it bother me. No more. So he just said, obviously, Bookmap, would you recommend Ludwig subscriptions? Well, absolutely. Ludwig levels are, again, I'll probably show you 5 of them right now, right? As far as, so the major lugs, we have different ways of trading these. So not different ways of trading them per se, but so here's a good example, right? Great support and some of the best support and resistant areas you'll ever see, especially when you get this volume of it. So this did bounce off here. It did bounce for almost 200 points, right? Then it came in and formed new lugs. So we also have a thesis when it draws new lugs. Okay, we talked about thesis a little bit ago. What should it do if it draws new lugs to the downside? Well, it should hold prior red that was support, that's now resistance, and directional yellow. So this is just kind of the mean. If it can hold that, it should hold that, then you expect blue. If it can't, you expect red. So that would tell me this is going up right now. Just a thesis off of these. So every day I come up with a thesis on what the lugs are doing, what market profile is doing, and what the structure is doing. So we already talked about this. This looks very bullish right now too. Not very bullish, but this should have died. This should have died. It already did that, and then it did it again. So it should have done that. What should have? Based on what normally happens in markets. No, instead of put in a whopping buying tail. So right now, I'm not that bearish. If it gets back below this, I am going to trade double size for all my shorts. Right here, I still would take a short, just like you saw me take a long. And I took a long right in this damn zone, and it felt bad. But you saw it was a winner, right? Because it was my trading strategy. But the point is, when I have a thesis and then the volume events align to that thesis, then I trade bigger. Right now, I don't really have an opinion here. Short term, I'd say this is probably coming back up here for right now. It's probably going to build balance for the next, into tomorrow. Tomorrow's unemployment number and a couple other numbers. Right now, I'm not that bearish. If it breaks this tail, aka this zone, then I'm going to be very bearish, and it's probably going to zero. So I'll be looking forward to that because I love when it sells off because I think it's so irrational, and I love to see buyers get their asses handed to them. ES, by the way, actually, I'm sorry, we got an event here. Let's see what trade I missed in here. Yep, that's how it works for me. Every trade I miss is a whopper. So we missed this one, guys. This was right when I got on the webinar. So that sucks. I guarantee this was an Izzy. Let's see. Sorry about that. See, I'm sure my room probably pointed it out. I just didn't look in there. What am I doing here? Hold on. Yeah. This was, I missed an awesome trade right here. So this was an Izzy. That stop run was right there, right? Right at the top of that zone. This is already a 25-point trade that I missed. Let's see what else we missed in here, just so I can get in a bad mood. Let's go ahead and take a peek. I hope at least four new lugs, or I'm going to want to cry about that too. Yeah, okay, so there was new lugs. I don't think I could have taken a pick trade here because it's kind of went into this profile. Yeah, so I basically just missed an Izzy trade, but still, this is a whopper trade, right? So we had a volume event in an important area. I should have been long there aggressively. There you go. So we got some stuff firing off here now too. So I missed a big trade here, as usual. All right, let's see. All right, so we got a new event. So that was really nice of the. So imagine this for 25 years, how your mental state would be, right? That's exactly where I got stopped out last one, and then that. But that's trading. You know, you gotta. I have to accept it. It sucks. Doesn't feel good. I don't care if I do this for another 100 years. It's not going to feel good. But I got stopped out right to the tick. Anyway, we got a new event. We move on to the newest event. Now we see, what do we have? Where are we in important areas? Number one, do we have an Izzy trade? Not quite. It's not here yet, right? It's right here. We get up in this zone, I'll be looking for Izzy shorts. It's not there. So I got nothing to short off of that. Market profile. Let's see, this is today. Let's spread this out a little bit. Not quite. There's really not a pick trade here. A little higher, I could take a pick trade. Profiles encourage. That would be a move, and it'd be a straight move back through this, right to the corner, top of that. I would fade that, but that's not there yet. We don't have this. If this was up here, if the stop run was into the lug, I would take a slug short. It's not there. So I have not, for my trading strategies, I don't have any. There's nothing for me to do for this event short. That's just for my trading strategy. Again, here we are again at VWAP. If you love trading VWAP and this fails, here's your trade. You got a stop run into VWAP. That fails, take a short. That's not my important area. I don't trade off of that. You may. You may have a Bollinger Band or a MACD line or whatever you guys are using. It's not for me to say if it's important. I'm saying whatever you think is important, just make sure you get some real-time activity there with the rules, and now you have yourself an edge. The best edge, in my opinion. And that's why you're on the webinar, to hear my opinion. All right, so crude is not agreeing right now. Again, wow, you guys ever see this pattern? I don't know if we've talked about this. The ATR reversion. There you go, right back at the zone. If you want to take that trade. I did not, because I don't take those on the webinars. So that is good. So now, actually, did I not stop out of these? Hold on a second. Well, you know what I did forget to do, though? So remember, I never stopped out of my apex positions. My on the NQ, I forgot to put that in. So this is what I'm talking about. So this time it worked out, right? So I'm still long that Izzy and that pick trade that I talked about earlier. Right? Was it Izzy and pick? Yeah, Izzy and pick. So remember, I got out of some of these. This is what I'm talking about, right? So this easily could have been the other way, where I forgot about it, and it's 300 points against me, and I look, I'm like, oh crap. So this is why I'm trading in Apex. But anyway, this one turned out, I got lucky, so we're up here. So we are smack dab in the middle of the zone. I could trail this stop here. Actually, I'm going to get out of 2 of the 3. Hold on. So I should already be out of these, right? Because that's how I did on the Bookmap on the sim mode. But I'm going to get out of 2 of these here. So this is a perfect example on why I trade on the Apex, because I make mistakes nonstop while I'm on the webinars. And it's not fun. All right, so I got 1 left. So now I'll trail that 1 to this new event. Right there. And it's below this sum. Okay, so 99.75. So again, I just got lucky. I should have been stopped out over here. Remember, I got out of 1 and 1 in the last one here. Well, I just got lucky. I forgot to put those in for that. Anyway, it comes back to 89.75. I'll be out. All right, what else was I looking at? Oh, gold. Yeah, that's what I was checking. Did I stop out of gold? No, of course not. So guys, this is a perfect example. So I'm taking huge losses in gold because I forgot to put my stop in here. Off of this event that I shorted this morning. I should have been out here. So this is already 30 ticks. Hold on, I gotta get out of all these. And this is why I'm not trading my actual living money, because I throw away thousands and thousands of dollars. All right, out of all those gold, the only thing I got right now is one NASDAQ. All right, so on to the newest trade, right? I should have been out of those. I screwed up. So here we are. Izzy trade. They're hammering crude, by the way, so I'm probably going to get stopped out of this guy too. Anyway, for a trade, new trade, what do we have? Izzy zone, volume event. This fails. I'm going to take that short. What else do we got? Let's see if we got any lugs or anything like that here. Nothing here, nothing. You could take this is a prior profile right here. I kept it because it was pretty close to this, point of control. So I could take a pick trade here. That's here. So I'm going to take, if this fails, I'm going to take a pick short and an Izzy short, and both of those are aggressive. So here's your volume event at those areas, my important area, right? So if this fails out of here, I'm taking the pick and the Izzy. If this gets up to this, these are canceled because this will show, to this ATR line, because this is showing me as a bullish setup. And then I have other strategy that I could put on. Obviously, Algo Guy is bullish. So I could put on barks and licks depending on what this turns out to be. So I'm going to put in these trades right now. We'll even put it in here. Again, this is just the sim, but I'm showing you. Let's just put on a whopping 5 here. All right, that's working. So if that comes back, that's my entry. I got to put it on my Apex accounts too. Hold on. It's 5. 86 is the entry. Last 2 digits. So this is 94. And all right, those are working. So if this fails out of here, I'm taking a short. This proves to be a bullish setup, aka hits the ATR line up here, then I'm going to take barks and licks, and you can see there's liquidity up here too, huge liquidity up here, and then I'll take those longs. I don't know what this volume event is yet. According to my rules, I need to see it push the ATR that way or that way. I could take longs that way, or I'll take it short this way, right? So now we sit and wait for that. All right, let's see what else. Someone's putting Spanish in here. I don't know Spanish, so I mean, I did. I was an honors Spanish in high school. Still don't really know it. That was I just graduated a couple years ago, so, or 1990. Let's see. Why are we talking Spanish in here? My sister can't withdraw 4th time. Apex inventing all-time new rules before withdrawal. As Matt, there's always they're not inventing new rules. Trust me. And on top of it, guys, if you really want to follow what they're doing, go in the Discord. I guarantee there's something wrong there, right? But anyway, they have it in the Discord. If people aren't getting paid, you're going to see it here. You're going to see it all over Twitter. Go in here, get in their Discord. You can see everything that's going on here. You can see the clowns that you're trading against, right? So I guarantee you, a lot of those guys don't know what the hell they're doing, right? But this is not a Bash Apex room, so if you got a problem with them, address it with them. You know, again, I've never had one problem with them, nor there's a lot of traders in my trader using them too. So, do I have a lifetime license for the drawing tool? As of right now, no. I will. We will discuss that once Johan gets this thing. Once he gets this. Hold on. All right, so we got a wheat setup, and we got yes. This is what you guys all love trading for some reason. This yes. And again, I made my millions trading this, and it's one of my most hated markets. But we got an event right here. Stop run. Now we just go through the same steps. Are we in an important area? You can see him buying the crap out of this. All right, let's see what we got here. I'll get to your other questions here, guys, in a second. I just want to not miss another trade. So this, I'd still be in this trade, by the way, if I was long, and then I would trail my stop to this guy. But I'm not, so that sucks. If you guys were paying attention, especially my trade room, you should have been long that setup in that Izzy zone. But all right, more stops. So this is an Izzy zone, right? If these fail, I'll take those shorts. So it kind of looks like gold did. Let's see if we got anything on my other areas that I would short. There you go. Here's a slug, one of the best trades out there. Does it mean so here's for example, we're at the lug. Am I shorting automatically? No. I need a volume event, which I got. Now if the volume event fails, I'm going to take a short. There's nothing on the profiles encouraged. There's no profile there, top. So let's get it set up. 2 stop runs. I would probably just combine these two because they're pretty much back to back, right? You had 800 and then another 500 here. So I'm just going to make this one zone. That's another beauty of the tool. You can change this. So guys, this is drawing for you, but there's going to be times where you have to combine them. There's going to be times where they're not quite threshold, but there's a bunch like back to back to back, and you need to learn how to draw the zones. So that's what, hold on one second. That's what my course is for, to learn these setups, right? So this is what you get in the course. You can get this on my website or the Bookmap Marketplace. So this isn't it's relevant, the drawing in the zones, but if you have the zone drawing tool, it draws it for you. But if you don't get the zone drawing tool, then you want to know how to draw the zones. That's in the course, all the thresholds, the data feeds, what you need to be able to trade off of this stuff, and then these are my setups. So right now, this is potentially a Dumb and Dumber, a Dumb Money Puke, the retail trader puke. That's what usually stop runs are at an important level. Or if this holds, it could be a stop and hold. We decide what it is based on if it can break an ATR out of here. So anyway, this is the new zone, right? If this fails, I'm taking a slug, stop run into the lug, and that's an aggressive trade, meaning I don't wait for that. I get in the first move out, and that's this 59.75. With my risk, I'm risking $500 on these trades. I could put on 5 micros for the risk parameters that I have based on the zone and the current volatility, right? You can see the ATR right now is 7.5. That's pretty volatile. So that all takes into consideration. There you go. Good job, Johan. This tool's working, the new beta tool. You guys don't have access to this yet, but you'll have it soon. It's working great. Anyway, if this comes back, I'm shorting at 59.50. Now I can put on 4. I will do that. Let's get that set up. Actually, we'll put it on here as well. Let's just put on 4 on this one. Again, this is sim, just to show you guys. There you go. So 59.50, and let me get it set up on my Apex. So this is slug 59.50. And I don't have an opinion as far as thesis here, so I'm not trading bigger size. I'm just going to take a normal trade. If I love to short here, I'd be trading double size. Now we got another event here in NASDAQ, by the way. Smack dab still in the middle of this. Now I'm going to trail my stop to that. Remember, because I forgot to take those off now. Remember it was down here off of this event. Now I get to move it up to here. So let me change those because I know I'll forget. All right, so bonds fire. There's just stuff firing off everywhere today, which is good, right? It's active. That's what you want. We don't want dead markets. All right, I trailed my stop. So what else could I do here in NASDAQ? Let's see if we got anything else. We just looked at this. I don't think there's anything more, but it's a little higher. Let's see. This one I would take an Izzy, right? Here's your volume event right at the edge of this thing. Again, these are not exact prices. It's an area. This is close enough. I will take an Izzy short if this fails. So just like I'm going to take a slug. Wait, did I say Izzy 2 in ES? Hold on. I think I said Izzy 2, right? Yeah, I could take an Izzy short in ES as well. Let me put that in before I forget. So slug and Izzy in ES, and entry is at 59.50 if I short it. And then in NASDAQ, I got an Izzy. I don't think there's anything else. Right, we just looked at this, did we not? Let's see. It's close. We get one more stop run up in here, or even ice, so say sellers or something. I'll take those, but it's not quite at the lug yet. That lug's at level goes at 73.25. We do have a pick. So you see this here? This is... I know this guy's been traded up and through, but I still think it is an important... You see how this market kept closing like right there? I think this is still a viable... Well, it doesn't matter. This one is too. So you got the top of this guy, and then you got the bottom of this guy. That is a good area. So again, this is an important area. I get my volume event. If it fails, I'm shorting it. That's it. I'm looking for volume events, real-time activity at my important areas. So I'm going to take a pick and an Izzy short here if this volume event fails. This event right here. So everything's on the spreadsheet here. I will short at... Where's the entry for this puppy at? What is the ATR in here? 35? Wow. All right, so my short's way down here. So this is where I'm stopping out of my longs, too, the other longs I have on, remember? So I can go short at 1050. I can only put on 3. That's based on this volatility, size of the zone, so on and so forth. You don't have to figure all this out. It's all on here for you and or the spreadsheet. So I'm going to short 3 at 1050, 51050, Izzy, and pick. Put that in. Actually, I'll put it on in here. 1050. Again, you can't see the orders. You can see them working right there. It's on the chart. All right, 1050. So I still have Izzy long on the apex. I'm going to turn around and get out of the long. There's a lot of activity in grains today too. And I'll go short if it gets down there. So what is gonna DQ disqualify that setup? Well, if this can get up to this, hold on, then this is canceled. That's how I determine. If this is able to push an ATR out of here, I'm not taking shorts, right? If this does this, then I can put on Barks and Licks because Algo Guy is bullish. That's my filter for Barks and Licks. Again, these are just all the strategies that I have here that I'm looking for. Vibe events in important areas. These are my important areas. All right, so those are all working. I got shorts working in gold. I got shorts working in ES and Q. Not working. They're not on yet. I have potential shorts. So I have not been filled in gold yet. So let's see what happens there. I do have this working, didn't I? Did I not put this in here? Oh yeah, it's right here. And you got to watch this too, because this is going to adjust sometimes, right? I think this has moved up a little bit or down a little bit. See, I don't have it on here. That sucks. Hold on, let me just cancel it and put it back in. Because it's dynamic. It's dynamically moving with the ATR. So you got to make sure you get the correct entry price, because sometimes, if it starts to dry up and nothing's happening, the ATR is going to start to shrink, right? It's at 40 right now. Well, your entry is going to be closer and closer and closer to the zone. So you got to keep an eye on this ATR for your entry. And your once I get in, though, I don't change my stops. So I've been burned on that many times, right? So say I get filled here, that's my stop. I don't say I get filled and the market does this for 2 hours. This shrinks down to like a 20 ATR and then the stop comes down here. I leave the stop where it is. You can do whatever you want, but I've just been burned where it'll come up. I'll move my stop, it'll stop me out, and then it'll do that. It's very annoying, so I just leave it where it is. The minute I enter it, wherever the stop is, that's where it stays. Again, that's just how I trade it. If you want to trade it differently, be my guest. Once you watch 4 million of them, then I'd say you can make better judgments. Until then, you might want to take my word for it. But you guys do whatever you want to do, because I'm sure you will. All right, let's see here. Just sitting in this zone in ES. Let me see if there's any other questions in here. You need to be emotionally neutral to trade effectively. Absolutely. Easier said than done, but yes. Guys, when you have a plan, you don't get emotional. Yeah, it sucks when you lose, but you don't sit here, you don't waffle back and forth. And most people get emotional because they're confused and they don't know what to do, and they're like, oh my God. If you're following a system like this, then you just put on the trade. You know you have the edge. If you stop out, on to the next trade, right? I got my ass kicked today in wheat and grains. 2 days ago, I caught like 20-cent moves. That's what trading is. It's probabilities. You just keep putting the trade on if you have an edge. And the better the edge and the better your rules, the less emotional you're going to be. Will I be updating the SI course to cover the drawing tool and the materials since the recent SIS course covered manually the zones? That's actually a pretty good idea. So I didn't think about doing that, but I think I may. So that's the great thing about this this medium here that I'm using, this Kajabi. I can if I update something in here, and I got a course will be coming out here hopefully soon on all these trading strategies too, and it's going to be an ongoing like thing. So if you pay for it, you're going to, as I add, because I've got about 50 more strategies in the, that I have in my head that I will eventually put on here, right? And it's up to you to pick which ones you want. But the point is, for either the new course coming out or even the SI course, if I add something, you'll get an email and then you'll get access to it. But that's a good idea. Yes, I'll put in the a video about the zone drawing tool. I'll just put it in this section here. Very good idea. Who gave me that idea? Who was that? Swishy. Swishy, I like you even more. You know why? You know what my nickname was when I was in Little League? Or not even Little League, when I was like playing teenage baseball? It was Swish. You know why I was Swish? Because I would miss so often, and the coaches said my bat swished, so my nickname was Swish. So I like you. I like you even more. What's the wind chime sound effect alert for? That was just my fills on the Bookmap, I think. Point it out if you hear it again. I'm not sure. What's the normal total profit target for you per day? I really hope you're not saying what is my profit or I shut off my computer. That is, you're going to get me on a rant here. That is the most annoying thing I've ever seen from traders. You do not have a profit target, right? You may have a target where you say, if I make, and again, it's all relative, right? For you, you may say, this is where I go on the rant. When I first joined my trading firm, for some reason, $5,000 was a magic number, right? So you'd have these traders in there that would get in there, and NQ, it was one of the main products too. They would get up $5,000. They would turn off their computer, go sit in the game room for the next 7 hours and play ping pong and just do nothing, right? I would be sitting there baffled. I'd be like, well, if you made 5,000, why don't you try to make 10? Why don't you try to make 20? So this is the thing, right? You never, ever, when you are doing well on a day, you keep your ass in your seat, right? I'm not saying you give it all back. I'm saying if you hit your profit target, say it's $5,000, right? That's not good drawing. It's $5,000. I'm not saying sit here and give it all back. I'm saying, and you have to have this all predetermined. You don't just do this on the fly. You say, okay, I hit my target for the day. You're still trading. If the markets are making sense, why would you get up? If you can make 5, make 10, make 20, make 50. What you do is if you hit it, then you say, okay, I'm going to risk 20% of that. I'm going to give back 1,000. If I give back 1,000, then I'm done. That's fine with me. Fine. You do not hit an amount at your high and quit. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. We all know how hard trading is on most days, right? Most days, it's whipsaw city. So you have a stop loss. If you hit it, then you're done. And you can put that in with, if you're trading with a broker, you better have a broker that does that for you, because if you think you're going to do it on your own when you're on tilt, it's not going to happen. Trust me. Take it from me. You guys all know those stories too. I've lost $1.6 million just in two days, 2 different trading days, because I didn't follow my risk rules. But back to the thing. Make it whatever you want to make it. Say I give back $500. I give back 10%. I give back 50%. I don't care. The point is, do not stop at your high. That's so stupid. The market's making sense that day for what you're doing. Take advantage of it. Make 10. Make 50. You don't know the type of days you're going to have, right? That's the dumbest rule I've ever heard of, if that's what you're talking about. So I don't have a profit target. I trade, I'm trading these Apex accounts, so I don't really have a drawdown per se, but you should not be risking more than 6% of your account in a day. If you do, you say, uncle, things aren't making sense today, on to the next day. I think that's what you're talking about. Someone making comments about their sister's account is a sign they can't pass. Yeah, probably, because I would. You can listen to this guy or you can listen to me. But you make the decision. I'm telling you, I've never had a problem with them, and if there was a major problem with them not paying people, you would know in 2 seconds. In this day and age, 2 seconds. Profit targets question is more about what you consider a good day profit-wise. I mean, right now, between all my accounts, 10 grand, that would be a good day. Like I've had a couple. I had one of those on, what was it? Was it yesterday? Tuesday, I think. And that's risking $500 a trade. But I'm trading all these different strategies. So I could have 8 different strategies on, 10 different strategies. So, but I don't, it is what it is. These are building up gradually, and that's what you do with your account. As your account, and this is another great thing about the spreadsheet, and it's here, right here, as well as your capital. As you make money, this changes, right? So if you're trading your account and you have $5,000 account, and that you better be following these risk rules, and it shouldn't be 10%. You should be risking 2%. So you should be risking about $100 on a trade. But as this grows, right? So say I wouldn't per se do it every day, maybe once a week. So say you had a good week off a $5,000 account, you made $2,500. So then, starting on Monday, you plug this in, you make it $7,500, right? Now everything changes. The amount of contracts you can put on in your this should not affect your trading. There's traders right now in my trade room. The minute and a couple of them are doing well, they up their size and they get killed, right? Because they mentally they can't take mentally the upping in the size and watching their P&L take bigger and bigger swings because they're trading bigger, right? This was always my gift. This is why I took off as a trader. When I started trading at my trading firm, I was trading one lot. By the time, within 3 years' time, I can trade 3,000. Well, why? Because to me, it's about being right and wrong. It didn't matter whether I have, to this day, even if I have the Apex account, it still feels like I'm getting punched in the stomach, right? It's about being right and wrong. And that's where you have to get yourself to as a trader. It's not about the money. The money will come if you have the edge and you're doing the right thing, right? So my point is, you guys will be trading a one lot, and then say you grow your account, you're doing great with ones, and then you go to threes, and all of a sudden you're watching 3 times as much riding back and forth on your P&L, and you start to crap your pants and you start to do stupid crap, right? You're like, oh my God, I can't lose $2,000. That's my mortgage this month. What? That's why most traders don't ever really take off, because they can't up their size. So I don't care. Say you started at 5 and you have a $20,000 a month. Now you have a $25,000 account. This should not make what you should put the same size. Whatever this is telling you to do, you should do. If you're not doing that, then you're not going to make it, because you're too erratic with what you're doing. So I've always had the gift of, it feels the same to me whether I have a 1 lot on or a 1,000 lot on, right? So you got to get to that point. Do I believe in trading 1 or 2 instruments better than, or more the better? The more the better. I look at 20, right? I'm not trading them all right now, like lean hogs and stuff, but I have them up. You can hear them firing off in the background. A lot of people don't have the bandwidth to watch 10 markets. Some people, even in my room, they're like, I can't watch more than 2. Guys, it's whatever your bandwidth is, but I'm telling you, you're doing yourself a disservice if you're staring at one market all day and then you get especially with the zone drawing tool. Holy crap. This is telling you every market. I mean, I could show you every one of these markets. This is the same stuff. I don't care if it's happening in beans, in wheat, in bonds. Look at this. These are all opportunities that you're costing yourself by staring at the crappy ES all day long when it's doing nothing. Branch out. If you get in, I harp on this every day in my trade room. Because they see me trade, and this is what I was saying at the beginning of the webinar. It doesn't matter what I'm showing you guys, whether it's bonds, wheat, beans, crude, gold. It's all the same stuff. These markets react to volume events, real-time volume happening. And we have the patterns, and the drawing tool draws them all for you. You can watch every one of these markets. Some of you can't watch a bunch, and that's understandable. I have a large bandwidth for that stuff. Some don't. Fine. At least pick 2 or 3. And then when one of them or 2 of them aren't doing anything, you're going to hear something fire off in crude or gold. Then you hop over there, follow the rules, put it in the spreadsheet, follow this is the spreadsheet on the chart, follow the rules. That's it. You're doing yourself a disservice if you're just staring at ES, though. I can tell you that right now. Speaking of ES, let's see what's going on here. Hey, there you go. Finally moved out of the zone. All right, so see how this has changed, though? I got to move this up. It's at my entry, remember, was 59.50. Now it's at 60, so I got to move this up. So I'm about to take a slug here. Again, I can only show one per se strategy on this, but I'm taking slug and Izzy shorts off of this. Remember, I have gold working and NQ working all short. I got on my little rant. Why did I not fill there? Let's see. So here's another example. I need to move this up a little bit because the ATR changed, right? There you go. So I'm about to get short Izzy and pick NASDAQ. We've already gone over these trades, what I'm doing here. I haven't been filled yet. So a little lower, I'm filled on these shorts. Gold, I never got filled. Still working. This is why I wait. It has to push an ATR plus 15% of an ATR for me to put the trade on. That's just from watching so many of these, my experience. If you want to put on trades, you see the volume event, and you like getting in right at the zone, do whatever you want. But I'm telling you, I tried all that. That's the point, right? So if you want to listen to me, because I've watched so many of these and have all that volume experience in my career, you might want to listen. That's the best way to enter in these. And there's so many traders that, what the hell, man? I don't want to put on a trade there. I don't want to risk 90 ticks on this trade. That's crazy. No, it's not. Because that's just telling you, one, you're standing. Look at the algos in here, whipsawing you to death. When I trade gold, I like to risk 20 ticks to make 40. What does that mean? That's what you want. That has nothing to do with what's happening in the market, right? And you're just open. What do you think these algos are built on? These algos are here to take your money. This is a zero-sum game, right? And they know traders do that. I put a trade on. I force the market to get out of an ATR, and then I put my stop all the way over there. I force it to come back the ATR. I force it to get through the volume event. I force it to push outside of an ATR for me to be wrong. I'm willing to risk that so I don't have that happen to me 500 times a day. So once again, you can either take my word for it or find out the hard way yourself, right? So that's how I trade those. And trust me, when I put this on, if the volatility, like right now, the ATR is 35 ticks every 5 minutes. If I get this on, I'm going to be, my risk is 90 ticks. If this works out, it's very likely going to go 2-3 times this ATR. So that's how I trade it. Again, you can trade it however you want. Let me know in 2 years of banging your head against the wall, and you can come back and tell me I was right. All right, who else? What do I think about ICT strategies? I have no idea what that means. As Matt, you're treading thin ice in here. What the hell is ICT? Swishy, 10,000 days, amazing, hard for most people to imagine. That's a great day, right? It's not, guys, and I'm only risking $500 on a trade right now. So you guys got to understand, I used to be $1 million trader. I went from millionaire to zero because my style of trading stopped working, right? So I say it all the time. There's a saying out there, there's nothing more, having money and lost it is way worse than never having it at all. Because when you never have it at all, you don't know what it feels like to be up here. When you have that feeling and you have a lifestyle and it goes like that, it's not a very good feeling or experience, right? So everybody knows my story. I've never been in here standing in front of a Ferrari telling you I'm $1 million trader again. Yes, I am working my way back. But when you're trading on your own, by the way, I'm filled on ES and Q shorts. But when you're trading on your own, it's a whole different ball game, man. When you're trading your own money, I got the Apex stuff too. now we're actually going to have the reversion trade with the trading firm. We may be able to take off with that. But when you're trading your own money, I can't be risking, $100,000 in a day like I used to. So my point is, I am not a large trader anymore. It doesn't mean I don't have the experience that you can learn from. Right, but it shouldn't matter what. I always get these emails too, like, show me your how much money you made, blah blah blah. I don't care if I told you I made last year $10,000 or $1 million. What does it matter? It's all relative. It's what I'm showing you that you can apply to your trading, right? So anyway, I am a small trader. I'm risking $500 on a trade. Even my personal accounts, they're not big accounts because I'm backing myself right now. Eventually, will I join a trading firm again? Possibly, but I can tell you right now, if I join a trading firm again, the education stuff's probably done because a lot of these places have rules against that, right? So I love educating; it keeps me grounded, and it's more of a vendetta type thing too, guys. I've told you this before. Some people don't believe me. I find great joy as showing you guys the games to fight back against these guys that are trying to take your money. And what do you think paper is? The big money in the algo. They are trying to take your money. I find great joy showing you guys what the hell they're doing so you can fight back. So that's worth more than money to me, to tell you the truth. But you can believe me or not believe me. All right, a couple more questions. I got to hop off. So I'm short. So here we go. So I'm short NASDAQ. I filled at that price. My stop's up here. All right. No, I'm sorry. It's way up here. Right now. If a new event comes in, then I'm going to trail to the new event. And I'm not going to let this thing algo me out. Here we go. Here's the algo games, right? How many of you put that short like, oh my God, I just had 20 points and it's all the way back. I got to scratch my trade. Go ahead. Do what they want you to do. You see this algo in here right now? Taking your cash? All you guys that just got short there and panicked on this move back? Yeah, good. You just fed them, right? My stop's all the way up here. If it comes back and stops me out, sucks. Not going to be happy about it. But this is probabilities. On to the next trade. If this moves lower, I get a volume bet. Oh, there's areas I get out too. I talk about that all the time too. I get out of some, not all, right? That's in this document as well. All these areas is where I pay myself. This is straight out of Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. As the money makes money available to me. These are my areas. This is not in the book, obviously. But I will get out as it moves in my favor. I wasn't getting out of anything at 20 points into the trade. Other than that, I just let this thing do what it needs to do. Right now this is a very bad time of the day to be trading too. So I always tell you guys between 10:30 Central and 12:30, and that's right now. Most of the time, unless you see decent relative volume coming in, you don't want to trade. I've lost millions and millions and millions of dollars in this time frame. And so traders in my room, they show their Traders Sync results. Every one of them shows like this. This is the negative bar, negative money at this time of day, because this is when New York, the big money in New York, Chicago they all start to go to lunch. And then this is when the algos, hey, you see that algo in there? Whipsaw you to death? They go full force right now. So my point is, I probably shouldn't even have put this trade on at this time of day, because the relative volume is it's like nothing right now. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not great. So anyway, the trade's on, doesn't matter. My stop's up there. It's going to be up here. So I'll put that in. So I'm short NASDAQ. I am short ES. Filled on this too. That stop goes all the way up here at 81. You see it right there on the chart. There you go. So, and then I have my stops on the Apex strategies as well. All right, see if there's any other questions. I got to go. There's another Bookmap dude coming on here. Wind chime is the fills. So that you heard those, that's the fill. You can set your sounds on the Bookmap. If you can trade directly through Bookmap, guys, right? If you're trading one account, I'm trading multiple accounts. That's why I have the Apex. I'm trading through the rhythmic domes. But I put these on just to show you guys on the webinar that this is sim. But that's the ding ding. That's the bike sound. I think that's what you're talking about. That is the fills. Can a trader without Bookmap subscribe to your daily trade room? Yeah, but you're not going to get any. I mean, you'll get something out of it. You'll get how I read. You'll get these zones, and you'll get the structure stuff, right? But Bookmap, guys, is the core of my trading. The Bookmap and the SI events. Yeah, you can come in there, but you're not getting 1/10 of what you're getting if you understand how to use the real-time volume stuff. But yeah, you can come in there and obviously. Price, guys, this is all on here. I wasn't able to post this. I don't know why Dan is not letting me post this today. Just go to my website. Everything is on here. My other site, my main site, scottpulcinitrader.com. It's all right here. Here's everything. Live trade room. Click on it. Here's all your monthly, quarterly, yearly. If you do come in and you're going to get the course or courses, I have multiple courses on there. Most of them are, from a while ago. The newest one's 2023 SI. You get discounts to the course too. Or my mentoring. If you want to do mentoring, you get it. I'll give you a discount on that too. If we go one-on-one, right? That's that. Here's the course on here. It's on the Bookmap Marketplace. There's the older courses. You can get that. My original SI Stop Iceberg. Lots changed since then. That's why I cut it in half. So if you want the basics, this is the basics. But I even say on here, I said this last week, it clearly says this is the original SI indicator course. So don't get it. Email me and say, this doesn't have anything that you're doing, blah, blah, blah. It does have the basic stuff, but that's why it's half price. So some people want to just know the basics. There you go. Here's your mentoring. Right? If you end up, it's $3.49 an hour. If you want to do multiple sessions, I'll give you a discount. Just contact me on that. Here's the drawing tool. I'm sorry, this is the this is the drawing tool. Here's my course in the Bookmap Marketplace. The drawing tool, you got to hit this thing. I think it's here. Right here. So if you subscribe to the basic, why does this do this? It doesn't click on it half the time. I let them know and they still haven't done anything about it. Hold on. There you go. So if you get the bait, this is the basic. The beta is the pro's not even available yet. If you get it, you're going to get a letter, an email saying you can get the pro. Not the one with all the lines, all the reversion lines, and everything else that I'm showing you today. So if you get the basic, you get the pro as of right now. Other than that, here's the spreadsheet part that I showed you. I showed all this earlier. Click on that, it sends you to my other website, scalpelseedingtrader.org. And then my YouTube and everything else. So there you go, guys. It's all right there. Nero, can you tell your favorite instrument and where the move is predictable? Guys, there's nothing predictable about anything. The most predictable thing you're going to see are these volume events and how to trade off of them. But my favorite markets, I would say grains. Well, they're not my favorite today, but they're usually my favorite. I like NQ. I still like trading ES, but I just think too many people stare at this thing all day long when there's so many opportunities. I like crude. That these markets move. Crude, you got to know crude and gold are the Alvo City, right? But here we go. I didn't even see this. So now, what's this? It's a new event. I'm long, right? Remember I was long off this guy here? Yeah, well, by the way, that's a shocking development that happened. The ATR retest confirmed. I actually could be putting on new trades here, 2 barks and licks, I believe. Oh, no, I can't because Algo guy is still bearish. So I can't put those on. I'm okay with that. Anyway, what I can do now is I have a new event. So my stop was all the way down here. Do you see how I didn't let them juke me with these algos and I didn't stop out just because it came back? I put it all the way down. It was all the way down here and I did not get filled somehow. That was a good thing. It never came down there. So I never get filled. It was an ATR below there, right? Plus 15%. Now, here's your new event. Now I can trail my stop to there, which I will do. You could put it back below this if you want. I'm just going to trail it to here. And that's how I trail my stops. I don't impose my will on the market saying, oh, I don't want to give back any money here, so I'm going to break even on this trade now. That's what they want you to do. That's how they take your cash. There you go. All right, guys, that's all I got. Trader Boy, thank you for doing these bookmap sessions. Great session review, no problem. You have also in my trade room, there's probably 700 daily webinars that you can watch. You can also watch the Bookmap. Just Google Bookmap YouTube. You can watch all my past ones. I've been doing for 7 years now on there too. All right, so I do this. This is what I do every day in my trade room, twice a day, most days, unless it's really bad in the afternoon. But I do this thing. This is my trade room, what I do all day, every day. It's not as basic as this, but you guys get the picture. All right, everyone have a great weekend, and I will see you next Thursday.